The bleach topic has been the centerpiece of this entire week, so I apologize for this review to come a bit late. So let's get to it. Finally, it's time for Deku to take the challenging test in chapter 103. We see the setup of the first part of the exam. It does have that shonen feeling that many of us are familiar with, and that's not a bad thing at all. When it comes to utilizing that premise, it's up to the writer to create something fun, intriguing, and something innovative. And Kohi managed to do so. It's something that's based on a video game in which is known that he has done references to video games, movies, comics, and so on. Those pop culture references. Because of that, it's easy to relate to that concept as well as easy to be excited on how this exam is going to go pull through. The entire chapter is more of a setup. It's expected to happen, especially when it comes to the beginning of the entire arc. So I didn't mind this at all. It does intrigue me on the way how they're going to utilize this concept of the step-by-step process of an exam. And of course, this is something you have seen from Hunter x Hunter, Naruto, and so on. Now it's time to see僕のヒーローアカデミア. So far, it does seem like an intriguing event. I'm actually looking forward to how this is going to go down. Most likely we're going to have a one-on-one moment, but if we start from this chapter, it still has a lot of fun activity that's to behold. Miss Joke is one of the newer characters, and it is what it is. It's about joking. I find her to be an amusing character. She does annoy Aizawa. It just makes it fun and at least brings more of a life to him, so it's something that we're going to see more of her and him interacting, especially they're in the same area, so we should see more fun aspect of these characters. I could already sense some people probably think about shipping them. She does go by Ketsubusu Academy, so we introduce more characters, and to me, I think the only character that's most notable is Shindo. And I didn't like how the fact that he come off like a guy who's supposed to be nice, but the expression he has doesn't match up to his words. I thought that was intriguing, especially with Bakugo. Out of all people, is the one to tell him out like you're being such a liar. I see him being more of the character that's going to go forward, going to the next step. I can't really say much about the other classmates. I think they were just there to point out the fact that UA is a very popular academy, but it actually relates to the entire chapter premise. You get the idea that UA is popular, but there's something bad to it, and we get to that in the very end of the chapter. I really like the concept of the first test because the focus is on the speed, and it has this premise that's pretty much like a video game, like a VR laser challenge with a long-range weaponry. In this case, it would be the ball, and then they have these plates. They have 3 targets. They cannot hide them. They cannot really make them very hard to shoot at it, and they had to make it as visible as it could get. The fact they all have 6 balls, there's 3 targets to hit on a person. If you do the math, you could pretty much take out 2 people with all your 6 balls. They introduced Yoink, taking the kill away from another person. You could just actually wait until that person lose 2 plays and then go for the last kill. And if you go with that way, you can actually have 6 kills in total. So you gotta play smart, and this is actually something that intrigues me. The whole idea that Deku is always about the smart character. He's not that kind of protagonist that we know from other series that we have been dealing with, from Weekly Shonen Jump or any shonen. So it actually connects to that characteristic, and it makes it more interesting to see what they can do with Deku trying to figure out how to beat this exam, especially with the fact they are being handicapped. I like the fact they give you the small hints or set pieces of why UA being noticeable, being famous, is not a good thing. Aizawa could have actually told them that you are being targeted, so be careful, but instead he want them to expect the unexpected, and in this case is to deal with the enemies that knows everything about you, your quirks, your personality, the way how you fight. It actually really works well because now we see in UA being tested for something they have been dealing with for the past 100 chapters. You actually going to a higher step by putting yourself into the position of what happens when your enemy knows everything about you. And I like that because I don't want to see something that's very familiar that we have seen in the series already. Instead, we actually see an advanced level. And I really liked how Kohi actually implemented without really implementing. By that, what I mean is the fact they managed to have these young heroes to act like children by actually going after the UA because they already know everything about them. It's like a bully in some form of way. Since they know them so well, it's best to take them out easily because you already know everything about it rather than go after the unexpected since nobody knows other schools' members. It does create the atmosphere of enemy knowing everything what you have. Therefore, you gotta play it smart, and that's where Deku actually got the memo. How Deku is going to manage to escape from being defeated and see how he can overcome that, as well as the other students. Especially there's only 100 students that could advance to the next level, and yet there are over 1,500. It's something that's breaking down. There may be one more level before we probably end up seeing the one-on-one battle, or it could be something interesting twist. I really like this chapter. It's a setup chapter, but it's still intriguing because the fact that we get to see how they utilize the premise of a hero in terms of not killing each other or not really hurting each other, but to way how to avoid yourself being exposed, find a way to defend yourself. As the heroes do a lot of tactics, you got to do a lot of defending as well, and you got to be quick in your speed in terms of mentality and physicality. For a setup chapter, it sounds really fun, and I can't wait to see the next level. So I'm going to give chapter 103 a 7. I know a lot of people wants to see a one-on-one combat, and I could understand that. Though it is the beginning of the exam, so you gotta go at a slow burn. A lot of shonen does this, but when it gets to the moment that it's actually pretty fun in terms of that combat, then you will see it pays off. And to me, it's still fun because a lot of other exam, is either a combat in a different style, or it could be like a different style all in all, like a written exam. But in this one, I think this one is one of the better utilization because the way how they try to make you feel like you gotta play it smart rather than try to just go head on. Not a lot of people in that exam are really think about that ahead, just thinking about the fact they know so much of UA. And they want to take them out easily because they know what to expect from these guys. Seeing how to play off, how to defend yourself is actually interesting to watch in terms of ability and in terms of how much they have progressed as a hero. That doesn't need to be just a straight on head on action. So that's it for this chapter. My thoughts are told. Don't let yours on hold. Leave a comment below. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel. And my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.